Right now, somewhere on your phone, the exact same song exists, nice and same, and depending on how it was saved, one version can be 12 times bigger than another. Same song, same 3 minutes. Yet, they sound completely identical to your ears. That's not a rounding error. One of those files quietly threw away most of the actual recording, deleted it permanently, gone forever, and bet everything that you would never notice, and you didn't. So, this is every audio format from the ones that keep every last vibration to the ones that lie straight to your face. And I want you holding one question the whole way down. Can you actually hear the difference? Or have you been paying in storage or in dollars for something your ears literally cannot detect? The answer is a little embarrassing. Here's the key that unlocks all of it. Every audio format is answering exactly one question. How do you shrink a wall of sound small enough to live on a phone without wrecking it? And there are only three possible answers. Some formats refuse to shrink it at all. Some shrink it by folding everything up neatly and losing nothing. And some shrink it by throwing pieces in the trash and praying you won't miss them. That's it. Once you know which camp a format is in, the whole confusing alphabet soup, WAV, MP3, AAC, FLAC, Opus, suddenly makes total sense. So let's start with the camp that flat out refuses to play the game. The first format is WAV and its twin, AIFF. This is uncompressed audio raw. The recording measures the sound tens of thousands of times every single second, writes down every one of those numbers, and throws away absolutely nothing. Picture packing for a trip by backing a truck up to your house and dumping your entire closet in it. Every shirt you own unfolded. That's WAV. Flawless quality and absolutely gigantic. One song can be 50 megabytes or more. This is what studios record and edit in, and what almost nobody streams because your phone would choke after a single album. Perfect to keep, impossible to carry, and that one problem, beautiful but way too big, kicked off the entire war. Because in the 90s, somebody asked the dangerous question, what if we just didn't store the parts you can't hear? That's the second format, the one that rewired the entire music industry. The MP3, and it pulled off its magic using a genuinely creepy fact about your own brain called psychoacoustic masking. When a loud sound and a quiet sound happen at the same moment, your ear physically cannot pick out the quiet one. The loud one drowns it. So the MP3 looked at that and went, if your brain is already deleting that sound, why am I storing it? It hunts through the track for every sound. It bets you won't consciously hear. And it erases them permanently. That's what lossy means. The data is thrown out and it is never coming back. The file collapses to a tenth of the size. Your entire CD shelf suddenly fits in your pocket, and just like that, the MP3 built the iPod era. But the early MP3 was a bit of a clumsy thief. At small sizes, you could actually hear it getting sloppy, which is why most of what you play today isn't even an MP3. It's the third format, Peeper AAC, the smarter thief. Same exact trick. Throw away what you can't hear, but AAC chooses what to delete far more intelligently. So at the same file size, it simply sounds better. And this is the plot twist nobody sent you a memo about. AAC is the real format hiding behind most of your life. YouTube, Apple Music, the audio, and basically every video on your phone. When someone says, send me the MP3, half the time, the thing they're actually holding is an AAC. It quietly won years ago and never told you. Now, here's where a lot of people start to feel a little cheated. Both of those formats permanently destroy part of the recording to get small. So, an obvious question hangs in the air. Isn't there a way to shrink the file without throwing anything away? There is, and honestly, it feels like it shouldn't be allowed. The fourth format is FLAC and Apple's version, ALAC. This is lossless compression, and to get it, think about a zip file for a second. You can squeeze a huge document down to a fraction of its size, email it, unzip it on the other end, and get every single character back perfectly, nothing missing. FLAC does that exact thing to music. It folds the sound down to about half its original size, but it discards literally nothing. Press play, and the original recording rebuilds itself bit for bit, identical to the studio master. Full quality, half the storage, zero loss. This is the audiophile's badge of honor, and it's the format streaming services now charge you extra for, dressed up in words like lossless and high res, which raises a very expensive question. Is that upgrade actually doing anything for your ears? Hold that thought because I'm about to settle it for good. Before that, one more format, and it's the one that should have won everything. It's called Opus, and by almost every technical measure, it beats all of them. Smaller files, better sound at low sizes, and it's completely free and open for anyone to use. And you are using it constantly right now without ever hearing its name. Your WhatsApp voice notes, Opus. Discord calls, Zoom, in game voice chat, half the audio streamed across the internet's plumbing, Opus. It quietly won the entire real time internet and lost the marketing war so badly that almost nobody knows it exists. The best format in the room is the one you can't name? Okay, the expensive question, lossless FLAC versus the lossy stuff everybody actually streams. Does it truly sound better? On paper, it's not even close. FLAC keeps more data, full stop. But in your ears, this is the embarrassing part. In blind test after blind test, where people genuinely don't know which file is playing, the overwhelming majority cannot reliably tell a good, modern, lossy file from a lossless one. Not casual listeners, not self described audio files, not on expensive headphones. The lossy thief did its job so well that the sound it deleted was, for your actual biological ears, completely undetectable. That was the entire bet the MP3 made back in the 90s, that your brain wouldn't miss what it couldn't perceive. And 30 years later, your ears have officially lost. So, which format is the best one? None of them. Because best was the wrong question the whole time. The right question was never which sounds best, it's which one fits what you're doing. Making or editing music, use WAV and keep every raw sample. Archiving a collection you want flawless forever? Flex. Full quality, half the space, nothing thrown out. Just listening on the bus? AAC or Opus every time. Your ears can't tell the difference, so you may as well save the storage and the battery. And that high res lossless subscription, it sounds incredible, mostly for your peace of mind. Your eardrums did not file a complaint either way. So the next time you see WAV MP3 AAC FLAS, scroll by and feel that little jolt of, wait, am I doing this wrong? You're not. You just needed the one thing that actually separates them. And it was never how good they sound. It's how much they're willing to throw away, and whether you could ever possibly tell. Keep the master, archive in lossless, and listen in whatever's smallest. Because the greatest trick audio ever pulled was deleting most of itself and convincing an entire planet that all of it was still there.